Okay, well, we have been covering the latest on trade with reports that Prime Minister Mark Carney and U.S. President Donald Trump are going to speak again soon about where things stand. But in the interim, for some industries like the auto sector, there is a lot to navigate. David Adams is the President and CEO of Global Automakers of Canada. He joins us now. Good to have you with us. And, you know, obviously every day we're reading different headlines from different officials, sometimes hopeful, sometimes uncertain, but business has to be run in the interim, David. So tell us a little bit more about how the industry has been navigating all of this.
Well, it's certainly been a challenge, that's for sure. And I think uncertainty is the watchword and has been the watchword for the last 6 months or so. I think the industry has generally been looking for certainty moving forward, and there were hopes that we were going to get that certainty in the trade deal that was, I guess, really not announced on Friday. We ended up with increased tariffs. I know the government is continuing to work down in Washington on a trade agreement, but from our perspective, getting that certainty is critical, and that certainty really amounts to going back to the original 0% tariff as was negotiated under the USMCA.
And so what has been sort of the collective decision within the industry in the interim? Obviously, there's a lot of employment that is directly tied to the auto sector in this country. We've got a lot of American automakers that have large workforces here as well. Obviously, they've been having conversations with their own government about this. So how is the industry overall approaching this for now?
Well, it's not homogeneous, and every company is slightly different. The two manufacturers that our association represents, Toyota and Honda, the two largest manufacturers in Canada, for them, it's more or less been business as usual, and I think that's primarily based on the fact that the models that are being built in Canada by both Toyota and Honda are some of the best-selling vehicles in the United States and Canada as well. So I think that that's helpful in terms of mitigating the impact on production. But the reality is that even with the concession for vehicles that have American content in them, and any vehicle built in Canada probably has at least 50% American content, that still amounts to a tariff rate of, call it 12%, 10%, going into the United States. And that's not something that can be sustained over the long haul, that's for sure.
So what do you think? I mean, if I mentioned we're expecting to see some kind of update on conversations between President Trump and Prime Minister Carney. For the auto industry, what would be the piece that you'd like to see discussed in that dialogue?
Yeah, and it's a good question, but I think the reality is that we've always emphasized, even for the United States, that the United States is better off when they're working collaboratively and cooperatively with their USMCA partners, Canada and Mexico, and building a competitive North American auto sector, as opposed to squabbling amongst ourselves about trade irritants that can be addressed in the USMCA customer review that will take place next year. So really, I think trying to get everybody's attention focused on the real elephant in the room, which is not so much what's going on in North America, but rather what's going on around the rest of the world, and trying to ensure that we can continue to cultivate a highly competitive, efficient automotive industry here in North America.
And then just a final question. Obviously, there's a lot of technology associated with the future of vehicles. Everyone's sort of increasingly talking about not just electric vehicles, but self-driving vehicles as well. What does it mean for the industry to be, on the one hand, navigating the trade and economic reality of today, while also trying to gear up for what could be a transformative future?
For sure, and all of those things are interrelated, and all of them require significant buckets of funds as well. So it is a challenging environment when you are trying to transition the industry more towards electrification, more towards connected and automated vehicles, and then the trade impacts of at least the connected and automated vehicle technology are who controls where that information goes. And I think that's part of the dialogue that the U.S. and Canada are looking to try and address together in terms of ensuring that that information that comes from the connected and automated vehicle technology does not fall into hands that we might not want it to fall into. So big challenges ahead for the industry for sure on all of those different fronts. And again, it's not helpful to be spending time, money, and energy on trade issues when there are much larger issues at hand that the industry needs to contend with.